sound usually has a frequency and an amplitude, so that'd be X and Y. Is Z distance from the source? So intensity, or what's Z?
So yeah, by three-dimensional I just mean this axis and this axis. You can see into the water rather than just seeing it because normally when you view sound, you're actually just viewing it from this angle, like this, right? So in this case, right on a graph. But in this case, you're actually pulling out from that graph and seeing it from all angles.
Yeah, but it's not really amplitude versus frequency. In this case, it's the vibrations as a function, as a distance away from the source in 3 dimensions, right? Because you got speakers, I'm guessing. Right?
Yeah, so there's a subwoofer and
so there's your sources.
Right.
And then you've got liquid as the media, and you're seeing the sound move through the liquid, amplified by the light. It's very cool.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out what you meant by 3D.
Yeah, so by 3D I just mean that you can see into it as well as the surface.
It's very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you're actually seeing the sound waves in real time. So yeah, what we then did with that is that we... Oh yeah, you want to play some music too? Yeah, play those. So this is what music looks like, the actual physical sound waves. Before you were just seeing a single frequency, but now you're seeing several frequencies all together.
So
the cool thing about the cymatics dish is that you can not only do water, but you can do sand, you can do like tiny little metal ball bearings or anything, and you'll get these cool symmetrical patterns that kind of happen and change depending on the frequency that you're inputting. So yeah, there's a lot of different mediums that you could fit.
It would rise up out of the surface, I think.
Right. So what ferrofluid is basically, it's a magnetic fluid, basically. So depending on the magnetism of the speakers themselves, they actually use magnetism to push the speaker in and out. So you'll actually see the liquid move, and it'll actually build up on top of itself and create almost like a sculpture. So I haven't tried that yet, but I would really like to. Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, he did really actually want to do that when we were deciding what we were going to fill in here.
It might be expensive, I don't know. I have no idea what
it's not that expensive. It's like $50 for a vial of it. But yeah, I would like to try that at some point. So yeah, we did this project with the applied synthesis class here with Mason Wiley. He was our instructor, and I learned all this stuff that I didn't really know anything about this when I started. I was really interested in audio engineering and didn't really know anything about music technology at all. So I took the MIDI 1 class, I took Synthesis 1, then I took modular synthesis, and then I took an applied class, and then that's when I finished this, pretty much. So I was really just interested in, just pushing faders and being, an audio engineer or whatever, creating electronic music. But then I got into this stuff. I really got interested in it. I started building synthesizers in this program that you see over here. It's called Reactor. It allows you to basically build synthesizers. And this is the same program that Native Instrument uses to build their own plugins and things. So if you use any Native Instrument plugin, they're using this program to build it. And so, yeah, you can actually learn how to do that here and create really unique sounds and synthesizers. And so I used it, actually, I took this a step further, and I said, well, so we can see sound, what if we could see our own brainwaves, right? So I got this EEG headset, and so what this EEG headset allows you to do is basically it turns your brainwaves into an electrical signal, which is then turned into sound, and is then turned into mechanical waves in the pool. So if I just put this on, you'll see here. I'll just explain a little bit. So each of these lines is a different bandwidth in your brain. So here are the lower frequencies in your brain. Here are the higher frequencies in your brain. And so the lower frequencies will trigger lower bellish tones, and the higher frequencies will trigger higher bellish tones. So the higher the amplitude of that bandwidth, the more likely that note will basically be triggered. Also, I have an eye blink function, so you can hear your eye blink in the form of a bass drum. And if I'm attentive, then you'll hear short little clicks, like the bellish tones will become really short have a short envelope, and if I'm meditating, they'll be really long and ethereal sounding. So I'll just you have to be sitting though, is the thing. This program is processing